Friends, the name of this film is Serenity, which was released in 2019. The story involves a mysterious island where a man named Dil is stuck. He tries to figure out how and when he ended up on the island because there's no way to escape. You should watch till the end to understand the full story. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get on to it. The film starts with Dil, the main character of the story. Dil owns a boat and loves fishing. He lives on an island called Plymouth. To make money, he often takes tourists out to fish. He sets up the rods for them, and the tourists catch the fish themselves, which makes them happy. In return, Dil gets paid. Today, Dil and his partner are with two tourists who paid to fish. But something different happens today. When the fish approaches, Dil refuses to give the tourists a rod. The reason is that he's been trying to catch a special fish for a long time, and today he might finally catch it. The tourists get upset, but Dil calms them down by showing a knife. Unfortunately, despite his efforts, he doesn't catch the fish. Now, he has to give the tourists their money back. This isn't a big deal for Dil, but Duke is disappointed because he needs money to pay his granddaughter's university fees. Dil promises to give him the money. Later, Dil goes to meet his friend, Diana, who gives him some money when he spends time with her. Dil asks about her son, who also loves boats and fishing. Dil actually wants Duke to leave so he can find a better job. Afterward, he goes to a bar. During a conversation with the bartender, we learn that people here know everything about each other, even the smallest details. The bartender mentions that Dil has tried to catch that fish 4 times, and tells him he should name it. Dil says its name is Justice. At night, Dil goes to give Duke the money and tells him that tomorrow they'll go out to sea again. Duke asks how many clients are coming with them, and Dil says they'll go alone because he wants to catch that fish no matter what. Duke doesn't think this is a good idea since their money is at stake. That night, Dil remembers his son, who now lives with his mother after their divorce. His son also loved fishing. The next day, Dil goes fishing with Duke. Despite waiting all day, they don't catch the fish, and Dil gets very disappointed. When they return, he tells Duke that he's bad luck because ever since his wife died, his luck has been bad. Duke feels hurt by this and leaves, but Dil did this on purpose to get Duke to find work elsewhere. That night at the bar, the bartender tries to convince Dil to give up on the fish, but Dil doesn't listen. At that moment, his ex-wife, Karen, shows up. Dil knows she's there for a reason. After taking her to his boat, he asks her what she wants from him. They talk, and we learn that Dil was once in the army, but he left for some reason. Karen tells Dil that after their divorce, she married Frank, a wealthy but bad man who abused her and always kept a close watch on her. Dil asks about their son, Patrick. Karen starts crying, saying Patrick stays in his room all day, playing games on his computer to avoid hearing the fighting. His teachers say he's very smart, but now he's become very quiet. Dil tells Karen to divorce Frank, but Karen says she can't because Frank will kill her. That's why she's asking Dil for help. She wants him to kill Frank while they're out on the boat, and she's willing to pay him $10 million. But Dil refuses because he doesn't want to kill anyone. After Karen leaves, a man in a suit comes looking for Dil. He's been watching him for a while but hasn't been able to meet him until now. The next morning, when Dil goes for a swim in the sea, he hears his son's voice and briefly sees his face. Meanwhile, we hear Frank and Karen yelling. We see Patrick in his room. This shows that there's a connection between father and son. Meanwhile, Karen's husband, Frank, arrives at the hotel where Karen is staying. When he sees her, she gets scared because he was supposed to arrive in 2 days. He tortures her as soon as he arrives. The next day, Dil goes to a local shop to buy fishing supplies. The woman working there tells him that people are talking about Frank, saying he beat Karen with a belt for an hour and she didn't even make a sound. Dil doesn't discuss this and leaves the shop. When Dil gets to the boat, he sees Frank and Karen waiting for him. Frank says, "My wife told me you're not going to take us fishing." Dil says, "I broke some rules, so I can't take anyone alone on the boat." Frank insists that the law on this island doesn't matter when there's money involved, but Dill still refuses. Frank says, "Everyone has a price. I'll come tomorrow and pay you to take me fishing." Then he leaves. Meanwhile, the same unknown man approaches Dill, but Dill doesn't listen to him and leaves. The man, looking at his watch, says, "I'm 20 seconds late. Something is off." Later, Dill goes to sell some fish, and Carlos tells him that someone is looking for him, but Dill isn't interested. Afterward, Dill goes to give Diana her missing cat. She tells him, "I heard Karen asked you for help. You're a good person. I think you should help her." After that, Duke shows up and tells Dill, "Frank is offering you $10,000 for a tour. I need the money for my granddaughter's fees. You should accept the offer." Dill asks, "Why should I listen to you?" Duke replies, "I know why you did everything, but I don't need your sympathy. I need your help." Dill agrees to help Duke. Later, Karen comes to see Dill again. He tells her that he'll only take Frank fishing but won't kill him. Karen insists that Frank will kill her and Patrick. She tells Dill that she knows Frank listens to him through his computer and that they are both connected. While out at sea with Duke, Dill expresses that something feels off. During the fishing, Dill asks Frank if he has any children. Frank tells him he has a stepson, and he's tried many times to bond with him, but the boy is always playing games on his computer. Frank says the teachers think the boy is a genius, but Frank doesn't like him. Dill asks why the boy hates him, and Frank says he doesn't know, but one day he'll kill him. This angers Dill, but before he can do anything, they catch a huge shark. Later, Dill says they'll go out again the next day. Karen uses this opportunity to talk to him and offers again to have Frank killed. She says Patrick wants the same thing. Dill starts to think about it. Duke overhears them and asks Dill, "Do you know them?" Dill replies, "She's my ex-wife. When I was in the army, I went to war, and when I came back, I found out she was with Frank." Duke advises Dill not to kill anyone, no matter what. That night, Dill meets with Karen and agrees to kill Frank. He just wants the money. He's not doing it out of love. When Dill returns home, the unknown man comes to meet him again. This time, he brings a device that will help Dill catch the tuna fish he's been trying to catch for so long. The man, named Reed, tells Dill that none of this is real, it's just a game. He says that everyone here is part of the game, and the rule is that no one dies. He explains that the person who created the game may want Dill to kill Frank, but he doesn't know why the rules are changing. Dill doesn't believe him, but he's still suspicious. The next morning, Dill notices that he can't wake up before the alarm, which suggests that maybe he's part of a game. Everywhere he goes, people keep telling him, "Go catch the fish." Dill tries to remember why he's on the island and when he got there, but he can't recall anything. He gets in his car and drives, and he starts to realize that none of this is real. He talks to himself when he runs into Diana's son, Samson. He says, "Did you need something? I can help you." Dill laughs and says, "When I asked you for help in the game, you didn't show up, and now the game is giving me everything." Dill leaves and questions the shopkeeper to see if Reed is real, but the shopkeeper always changes the subject. Dill calls to find out if Reed is real, and he gets confirmation that Reed is indeed real. Frustrated, Dill goes to the bar to drink, but the bartender tells him the same thing. "Aren't you going fishing today? You should go to work. Don't take tourists. They always bother you." This shows that the game's rules are preventing him from killing Frank, but Patrick's mind wants something else. Meanwhile, Karen wakes up to find Frank injured in the bathroom. He was attacked by 6 people, and this was all planned by Duke. He paid them to make sure Frank wouldn't come on the boat that day. Duke tells Dill, "I did what I thought was right for you." This makes Dill very angry. Despite being injured, Karen convinces Frank to go fishing. Dill sits on the shore, feeling hopeless, when Reed approaches him again. Dill says, "I don't understand what's happening here. Why am I here? What's the purpose of my life? Am I going crazy?" Reed says, "I don't know about that, but I know what's happening here. We're all someone's dream, and only the person who created us knows about us." Dill then realizes that the person who created this game might be his son, Patrick. Reed says, "If that's what you want, I'll break the rules for you." If Patrick wants Dill to kill Frank, the rules will change. Karen brings Frank onto the boat, and Dill takes him out to sea. Frank is already in bad shape, and Karen has drugged him. As they're fishing, they realize that Samson is also on the boat, which could ruin their plan. But in the end, when Dill hands Frank the rod, a shark drags him into the ocean, and Frank meets his end. In the real world, Patrick kills his stepfather, Frank. This shows that Dill's real fight was always against death. The game was just a way for Patrick to connect with his father. After the murder, Patrick is placed in a mental hospital. In the game, Karen says goodbye to Dill. But Dill had made it a condition that she would have to adopt Patrick. Dill knows that everything is a game, and as Karen disappears, Dill gets a call. On the other side of the call, it's Patrick's voice, and Dill gets emotional. Patrick says, "I've done something very wrong." Dill tells him, "Whatever you did it for the right reason." Patrick says, "I'll change the game so I can meet you." Dill is happy and says, "I'll wait for you." The call ends, and Dill sees that everything around him is changing. Suddenly, we see Patrick in the game, running towards the boat to meet his father. Dill is overjoyed and the two embrace. Even though it's just a game, Patrick is with his father.